Hello everyone, welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 with your host, Ht1. Hello everyone, welcome back to the farm on Farming Simulator 19. So, as you saw last week's episode, I was just a little montage of me basically sitting around waiting for the cows to do. I think grand total, I think it did. I think we did either 5 or 6 days, possibly 7. I don't know. I had to, in the middle of that, I had to step away from the computer for a minute, so I don't know if it ran a 1 full day or if it ran 2 full days, um, or not. While I was doing that, while I was stepped away. But yeah, let me show you. Let's take a gander at what we did on the farm. I'll get to that little red thing in a minute right there. So yeah, so basically ran the farm. I ran the farm for those many days. Like I said, I can't remember. I don't know if it was 5, 6, or 7 days. But we ran it for a good long while. I'm kind of running low on ingredients now in the shed up there. But yeah, we did. I did quite a few days. So let's see what our return was after it auto saves. All right, let's see. Nice. So we got 44,500 liters. And during that time, we jumped from, I think it was like 31. We had 31. We now have 37 cows. So that's great. But I have noticed that as this number goes up, these numbers start to get a little, ugh, you know, kind of thing. But we're doing good now. I got everybody, as you can see, I got everybody up at least into the green. Everybody's not completely topped off, but we're good. But yeah, we got 44,000 liters of milk. That'll be definitely one and a half trips with our truck. Well, 2 trips basically with our truck over there. So we're gonna load that up here in a minute to do that. I'm hoping we get a pretty good price on milk because yeah, as we was going along, look at this. I'm pretty sure you saw it in the thing, but dang, we got a lot of manure buildup here. So we're gonna either have to find a different place to put this, or we're gonna have to, or hopefully we can get the what am I trying to? Oh, the the greenhouse set up here pretty soon. But for now, what's gonna happen, I think, is we're going to sell the milk. We're going to sell the milk off, and then we're going to go and we are going to bring in some more cows because since this shed can hold 200 cows, I think that will also help on our day-to-day production of milk. So let's go grab the semi, well, yeah, the semi, because these are basically trucks, even though they are semis, but they're just basically trucks. Let's grab the semi. Oh, and another thing is for temporarily right now, I'm disabling the adaptive steering on the. I like the gearing, but I don't like the um adapted steering anymore. Because to me it just doesn't do correct. It doesn't. It's not functioning correctly anymore. Um, Either the game and the adaptives and this mod are fighting each other, so it's like 6 times worse, or it's something different. But I do like the gearing. They've adjusted the gearing to where now if you slow down, it actually does gear back down. See there, it actually geared down, and there it geared down again. Instead of actually, as you're starting to roll to a stop, it actually will gear down as it goes. Instead of like before I updated it, as it would go along and it would slow down, it would just stay in those higher gears. It wouldn't even gear down. So, all right, let's fill up our first load. Let's fill up our first load of milk. And then when we get to a point where we can actually fill this truck twice, I want to do an experiment. I want to run one truck full down to the actual on map sell point, sell it there, see how much we get off of that, and then take another load and bring it out to our little sell point out front, our self, basically what it is our self sell point out here, and see how it compares to the on. That's just a bunch of trees. To see how it compares to on the map sell point. Because as it stands right now, I don't know if this is actually. I mean, really truthfully, what this does is this is actually convenience. Because I don't have to go very far. I just go from here from there to here, sell it, go back. But I wanna know, is this actually making more money for me actually, or is it best to run the milk down to the actual map sell point and sell it there? So we'll test that out. In the meantime, we'll test that out once we can actually get a couple of full trucks. Like this thing holds 32,000 liters. So basically, I would need to go until we get like 64 or 65 or even 66,000 liters to be able to make sure. Ooh, that was 97,000. That's not bad. So that way we have a true comparison. You know, is it more? I mean, it's not more efficient to run down there, but is it more profitable? That's the word I was trying to remember. Is it more profitable to take it down to the actual map sell point? Or is it more profitable to run the little sell point out front? I know really truthfully it's more convenient to just be able to drive out to the road, dump it out, sell it off, come back. So, turn off all those. We don't need that because we're not driving around in the field anymore. So yeah, so I won't put the camera in the trees this time. So yeah, so anyway, eventually we'll figure that out, but for right now we're just going to use this as more of a convenience thing. because it's more convenient for me to pull the milk out of there, come out here, put it, sell it out here, and then be able to drive the truck back and not worry about it. Alrighty, so we have almost 200. So we made 120. Really? Okay. What in the world? Okay, what did I just do to the truck? Tires aren't even spinning. Hmm. Well, I'll have to figure that out later. I don't really want to spend the time to figure out what's wrong with that truck right now. Okay, so anyway, what I was saying is basically, I'd like to know exactly what the difference is between selling at the sell point you create, or the sell point, or the one on the map. So, but anyway, I diverse. So we're done there. So we made a good profit on that. So I think the next thing we're gonna do, well, since the semi seems to be out of commission for right now, and I don't know why. What my plan was is I was going to take and buy pardon me. I was gonna buy a transport, a cattle trailer. Um, but as it seems right now that the semi's on the fritz, I don't know what's wrong with the semi. I have no idea what's wrong with that. I'll have to troubleshoot that to see what's going on there. Yeah. So, oh, hold on. Before we do anything else, I'll tell you what I did. Okay, so I bought this little guy. This thing wasn't cheap. It was about $30,000 to buy. But the reason why I bought it is because throughout the entire thing, and you'll see on the if you watched last week's video, um, you'll understand why I bought that after all of that. Is because what I was having to do is I was having to unhook the bale fork, hook up to the bucket of the big for this thing, clean that, and then when I needed to go back and do the bales, bring like the straw bales down for straw, uh, for bedding, and the grass bales. Well, I did some grass bales off camera, but when I brought the grass, had to go get the grass bales, I kept having to switch the implements back and forth, and doing that, it made it a little annoying and tedious to have to do that. So basically what I did is I went and looked at the skid steers, found that this guy, basically, I mean, I went to this guy, which is basically, I think total, this was 28,000, this was like $3,000. And, This so this made about $31,000 just to buy that, and that's just more of a convenience so that I don't have to keep switching the I don't have to keep switching the forks on the tractor. I can just leave the forks on the tractor, use this little guy to clean up. Then if I need to actually move some product, some large amount of product, then I can use the front loader, and then I can use the loader to do that. Um, yeah. So that's why I bought that little Joel, just for convenience. That's all it was, is basically. Um, oh, I will put out an ask. Um, I'm looking for a bale shredder, but I'm looking for not this type. I'm looking for one that is the deck version. So they have this style, but they have another style that's basically it kind of looks like the rear end of a manure spreader mounted on the front, and then it has a deck that has the movable chains, and basically it just pulls the bales in and shreds them and everything. Just basically the same thing, but I'm looking for one. I'm looking for one that actually is the deck version instead of that weird in-game one right there. So yeah. So all right. So let's take a look at how many cows we can purchase. We're doing the black and whites. So let's see just how many we can do. Because I want quite a few in here. I want to try to at least hit 100. Okay, so 100 cows, if we do 100 cows, that's going to net us about 170,100. We'll probably gain that back in the amount of milk we get back. So let's do that. All right, so we're going to hit the ball. Alrighty, there we go. We got $26,000 left. So basically that's going to cover our running costs for a few days and everything like that. But we're really truthfully not done right now. So now we need to go fill up the I'm gonna miss doing this, but I gotta turn that off. You know what I am gonna do though? I'm gonna shift this over into like the power shift. So we're gonna do the full power shift. And basically what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna wrong button. We're gonna shift it to manual. And the reason why I want to do that is so that way I just have a little more control over the speed of the tractor. Plus that'll just make it in such a way that, see, we can just barely crawl, and then when I go to do stuff, I can just let it idle. Voila. Wrong way. I don't know why my brain is wired. My brain is wired to just like tap the heck out of this thing, and I don't know why. There we go. Much more control than the other way. I really don't know why I wasn't doing this to start with. Well, I kind of wish when Giant made their informational thing that pops up, I kind of wish it wasn't like smack dab in the center of the screen. I kind of wish it was more like either to the top or to the bottom of the screen. Because having it right smack dab in the middle of the screen is really an annoyance. And I don't know, and I think a lot of people that play this game would agree with me that really truthfully Giant needs to take and place that in a different position now. Because yes, it's convenient to have it there. It's convenient to have it there because it's an informational thing. But it really is obnoxious to have it right in the center of the screen. I mean, if, like I said, if it was actually, you know, like in the center of the screen, but more to the top or more to the bottom, then those two would have been a better position for it instead of being smack dab center of the screen. Because, really truthfully, and the only reason why I say that is because for like people that, now I don't do it a whole lot, but people that use Farming Sim for like role-playing farming and stuff, then it really does break immersion when you have like a gearing system like this, and every time the thing pops up and says, "Hey, you're out of your you know, the RPMs for this game for this machine are not high enough," then it really does take and break the immersion. Okay, is this the third or is this the fourth? Oh, that's the fourth load. Okay. Might as well just back this off a little bit. We'll be coming back for it again. So, yeah, so, I mean, that's just my opinion with that's just a thing with with that. It would be nice if they would have actually moved that up to either put it at the top or put it at the bottom. It's not, it would be less noticeable. It'd be less noticeable if it was either at the top or the bottom of the screen. Alright, so we're going to get this load dumped in here. As you can see, all the machine's been working hard. Alright, let's go get another load. I've noticed that on a lot of my tractors, I'm like the front, the loader and the little tractor that I have on the hay blower. I'm gonna have to run those in to get fuel here pretty soon, because they're almost out of fuel. You can definitely tell which tractors are getting used more. All right, let's go ahead and get some more. And you know, another thing that I'd really like to see maybe with either Giant or even the gear mod here is a work throttle. Because it's like it would be nice to take and see kind of like a work throttle, because it's like right now for me running the hydraulics here, it would actually it would behoove to have it rev up and down a little bit, because sometimes you would actually, whoopsie, that was the wrong button. You would actually hear sometimes people would rev this up, and like going into here, come in, scoop. As I scoop and I raise up and everything, that would all be like at full throttle, or well, mostly full throttle. But yeah, it would be kind of nice to see a work throttle added in, you know, like a button that you could take and hit. You could hit like a button, maybe even a couple of buttons, or set up like three. You definitely wouldn't need over like 3 buttons for it, really. So the first button would be to put it back to idle, and that would also put it back to normal running mode. So basically, when I push the W key, then it would rev up the engine. But then like you're doing stuff like this, it would be nice to be able to reach down and put it in like a half throttle mode, to where it's like, okay, the engine is running, revving, or throttled up a little bit, but not so much that it's gonna blow the engine. And then like maybe like when you're out and doing field work and stuff, you would be able to reach down, tap a button, put it in high throttle, because most tractors that have a hand throttle, they're put at least revertarily close to high throttle, to full rev up, or full throttle, because that gives you the most strength in the hydraulics. That gives you the most power in your tractor for pulling, and just overall makes it more realistic, more realistic, or more or less realistic. Let's put it that way. Turn this way just a little bit more. Alright, we're gonna get, I think this will be the last load that we load on camera, because we're getting close to our time to shove off. Oh, why am I turning that way? Back, straight back. Up. There we go. Back it into its little cubby hole. Alright, let's grab the dump truck. Let's get it up and get it dumped. I'll probably set forward by putting all the getting the hay and stuff set up in this plant up here at a later date, because that's just going to be me grabbing the stuff and putting it in. Next episode may be kind of an interesting, just little side episode or something, or may not even be a side episode. I may record a separate video of, there's a new free DLC out. I'm pretty sure a lot of people has heard it, the Straw DLC. I'm going to probably load that into this play, and we're gonna see how it differs between so we may end up, I may end up replacing the baler that we already have with the baler from that pack, because baler is actually much more advanced than this one. Um, that may be an interesting thing. I may be able to. We may have to take out a loan or something for that baler, but we'll see. But we'll probably replace, even though I like the Massey Ferguson. Sorry for getting really quiet there for a moment because I have a I have a clock that every hour it imitates a dog bark, and some of the barks on it are a little annoying and everything. So because they don't bark like normal dogs really. So all right, yeah. So I will be looking forward to actually trying that. It's going to be interesting because it's got a lot of different equipment with it. So, but yeah. Unfortunately, we are out of time, folks. So, if you enjoyed, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed last episode, which was just basic, like I said, just a basic montage. Um, eventually, we'll get enough. Eventually, we'll get the money for the greenhouse to get the greenhouse set up. I'm planning on running the farm probably off camera this time a little more to get a little more. We'll see what the dairy. We'll see what happens with the milk. We may we may get chickens. I don't know. I hinted at it in the episode before that we may get chickens. I don't know. That that's kind of up in arms. I don't know. With the increase of the cows, we may be having to focus more on the cows than being able to do any of these other animals. So, but for now, yeah. So, yeah. So, alrighty, folks. Well, I've rambled enough now. So, yeah. So if you like this episode, um, to the left of the screen, I may have a video on it. I may have a link to the video, my last video. And on the right side of the screen, I may link that to a completely different video and everything. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed. I'm HeartTruck1, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.